What if I told you that behind Hollywood's most celebrated success stories lies a storm of whispers, unanswered questions, and scandals that never fully disappeared? For decades, rumors have shadowed some of the industry's brightest black stars, stories of secret alliances, whispered deals, and hidden connections with the most powerful directors and producers in the business. Today, we're stepping into that shadowy world, peeling back layers of mystery and uncovering the rumors Hollywood hoped you'd forget. Get ready, this dive is darker and deeper than you expect. Number 1. Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese wasn't supposed to become a Hollywood leading man. He was known first as an R&B singer, then as a model whose face lit up those unforgettable Coca-Cola commercials. Acting wasn't his world, not yet. But everything changed when legendary filmmaker John Singleton personally selected him to star in Baby Boy in 2001. This wasn't a small gesture. John could have chosen any seasoned actor in Hollywood, yet he placed his bet on Tyrese, a newcomer with 0 acting credits. The gamble paid off. Baby Boy became a cultural moment, and Tyrese proved he had something raw, magnetic, and authentic on screen. Then Singleton doubled down, casting him again in Too Fast, Too Furious, locking Tyrese into one of the most profitable film franchises of all time. 2 career-changing opportunities, same director, same young actor, and Hollywood, as always, had something to say. Whispers began circulating. Tabloids speculated that Singleton's interest in Tyrese came from a connection deeper than professional faith, suggesting a relationship that was more personal, more intimate, and more complicated than mentor and protege. But that's the nature of Hollywood gossip. It reveals far more about the insecurities of the rumor mill than the people at the center of it. The idea that a young black artist couldn't earn a role based on talent, charisma, or untapped potential says more about industry bias than anything Tyrese ever did. When John Singleton passed away in 2019, Tyrese broke down publicly. He spoke of John as a father figure, a man who believed in him when he barely believed in himself. Their connection was authentic, profound, and built on mentorship, not scandal. Did Singleton recognize something special in Tyrese? Without question. Did he take a chance on a newcomer? Absolutely. That's what visionary directors do. And Tyrese proved that faith right, from the Fast and Furious franchise to the explosive Transformers films, building a career that stands on its own, far beyond any rumor. Number 2. Halle Berry. Back in 1991, Halle Berry was still fighting for her place in an industry that rarely embraced black actresses. Then came her breakthrough moment, Jungle Fever, directed by the visionary Spike Lee. The film was bold, controversial, and unapologetically honest about interracial relationships, and Halle's role as Vivian, a young woman battling crack addiction, was fierce, unfiltered, and unforgettable. It was the performance that made Hollywood stop and stare. But of course, this is Hollywood, a place where success rarely arrives without gossip trailing behind it. Whispers began circulating that Halle's rise was helped by a special connection with Spike Lee. People speculated that their bond went deeper than the usual director-actor relationship, hinting that Spike handpicked her not only for her talent, but for reasons far more personal. Here's what those rumors ignore. Spike Lee has always been a champion of black talent, giving rising actors opportunities that the industry traditionally withheld. He opened doors for countless performers long before they became household names. Halle was one of those fortunate breakthroughs because she was fearless, gifted, and ready. Did Spike see something extraordinary in her? No doubt. Did their relationship ever resemble the gossip? There's absolutely no evidence. What remains undeniable is Halle Berry's brilliance. After Jungle Fever, she ascended to heights no black actress before her had reached, becoming the first black woman to win the Academy Awards for Best Actress with her stunning performance in Monsters Ball. She built a legendary career from X-Men to John Wick, her range stretching effortlessly across genres. The truth is simple. Halle didn't just walk through the door, she proved she deserved the room. And as for the rumors, neither she nor Spike has ever wasted time addressing them. Their work, legacy, and impact say far more than Hollywood whispers ever could. Number 3, Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard was already respected in Hollywood, an Oscar-nominated actor celebrated for his unforgettable performance in Hustle and Flow. But when he was chosen to play the ruthless, magnetic Lucius Lyon in Empire, the industry took notice for a very different reason. By the time Empire premiered in 2015, Terrence's career wasn't shining the way it once had. He'd been pushed out of the Iron Man franchise after a bitter salary battle, confronted multiple accusations of domestic violence, and earned a reputation as a risky hire. Many believed his leading man days were over. Then Lee Daniels stepped in. He cast Terrence as the face of his new musical drama, and suddenly everything changed. Empire exploded into a cultural phenomenon, and Terrence was thrust back into the center of fame, louder, brighter, and more talked about than ever. But with success came shadow. Hollywood insiders began whispering that Terrence's spot at the top wasn't just about talent. Rumors swirled that Lee Daniels' admiration for Terrence stretched beyond professional respect. The gossip insisted their bond was personal, even romantic, and that this mysterious closeness was the reason Terrence remained untouchable. And the timing only fueled speculation. While Empire dominated ratings, Terrence kept stumbling through controversies, strange interviews about reinventing mathematics, ongoing legal drama, and troubling allegations from his personal life. Yet through it all, he stayed the star of the show. How? Why? The rumor mill always offered the same answer: Lee Daniels was protecting him. Here's what we do know. Lee Daniels and Terrence Howard share a long creative history. Lee directed him in The Butler even before Empire. He defended Terrence publicly when most studios would have run the other way. Their loyalty to each other is undeniable. But are the whispers true? Neither man has ever confirmed anything. Lee has only said one thing consistently: that Terrence is brilliant, that he was born to play Lucius Lyon, and that everyone deserves a second chance. Maybe the truth is simple: a director standing by an actor he believed in, or maybe the real story lies in the space between loyalty and legend, a truth we may never fully know. Number 4, Angela Bassett. In 1991, John Singleton shattered Hollywood history. At just 24, he became the youngest person, and the first black filmmaker ever nominated for Best Director at the Academy Awards for his landmark film Boys in the Hood. It wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural earthquake, portraying black life in South Central Los Angeles with a level of truth and emotional weight the industry had never dared to show. Among the cast was a rising actress named Angela Bassett, whose role in the film became one of the first pivotal steps in her extraordinary career. But this is Hollywood, a place where achievement rarely stands alone. As the film's success grew, insiders began whispering about Angela and Singleton. Rumors hinted that their professional connection had deeper, more intimate layers, and that this alleged closeness gave Angela access to opportunities other actresses could only dream of. To understand the whispers, you have to understand the era. John Singleton was a young black director breaking open doors nobody had ever given him permission to touch. He had influence, momentum, and the power to elevate others. Angela Bassett, meanwhile, was a Yale-trained powerhouse in an industry that refused to imagine complex roles for black women. The gossip claimed that her rise was tied not only to talent, but to a personal relationship with Singleton. But here's the truth those rumors conveniently forget. Angela Bassett is one of the most rigorously trained, fiercely committed actresses of her generation. She didn't need favors. She needed someone to see her, and Singleton did. After Boys in the Hood, she soared. She earned an Oscar nomination for portraying Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It, delivered unforgettable performances in Waiting to Exhale, and How Stella Got Her Groove Back, and later became cinematic royalty in Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. Neither Angela nor Singleton ever confirmed anything beyond friendship and respect. In the end, the rumors say more about Hollywood's disbelief in black excellence than they ever said about the two of them. Number 5. Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell isn't just a supermodel. She is fashion royalty, one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. But acting? That wasn't the lane she was known for. Everything shifted in 2015 when powerhouse creator Lee Daniels cast her in the explosive hit series Empire. Empire became a cultural firestorm, a drama about a hip-hop dynasty that dominated primetime television and turned Fox into a ratings juggernaut. Naomi stepped into the role of Camilla Marks, a seductive, calculating power player who added gasoline to a storyline already burning with tension. The moment her casting was announced, Hollywood rumor mills spun into overdrive. Why would Lee Daniels give such a prime role to a supermodel with limited acting experience? Gossip blogs had their answer ready. Lee supposedly had a soft spot for Naomi, a special fondness that allegedly ran deeper than friendship. The whispers grew louder. Insiders hinted that Naomi's relationship with Daniels gave her access other actresses would have killed for. Some went further, suggesting romantic undertones or a deeply personal connection that supposedly influenced his casting decisions. But here's the part those rumors conveniently ignore. Naomi Campbell is one of the most influential black women alive. Her name alone pulls global attention. Her presence brings glamour, prestige, and millions of curious viewers. From a business standpoint, casting her was a strategic masterstroke. And beyond that, Naomi delivered. She held her ground opposite seasoned actors, brought the exact level of fire and elegance Camilla Marks demanded, and became one of the show's most memorable antagonists. Was she aiming for an Academy Awards-level performance? No. She didn't need to be Meryl Streep. She needed to be Camilla, icy, stylish, dangerous, and she nailed it. As for the gossip, Lee Daniels has never acknowledged anything beyond friendship and deep professional respect. Naomi speaks about him with admiration, gratitude, and appreciation for his trust in her. The rumors linger for one simple reason: Hollywood loves to push the tired narrative that beautiful women earn roles through scandal, not skill. It's sexist, lazy, and completely dismisses the undeniable truth. Naomi Campbell was a smart, profitable, and effective casting choice. Number 6. Meagan Good. Meagan Good has been part of Hollywood for most of her life. From her haunting childhood role in Eve's Bayou to teenage hits like You Got Served and Stomp the Yard, she carved out a career long before most people knew her name. She was consistent, visible, and respected. Then came her relationship with Devon Franklin, a Hollywood producer and Seventh-day Adventist preacher known for his faith-based projects at Sony Pictures. The two met in 2011 while working on Jumping the Broom, fell in love, and married the following year. Overnight, they became one of Hollywood's most admired Christian couples. They wrote best-selling books about celibacy, faith, and marriage. They were invited to interviews, stages, churches. Their brand was unity, purpose, and spiritual strength. But Hollywood never lets a love story remain simple. Behind the scenes, the whispers began. Was this romance pure love, or did industry politics help shape the narrative? Some insiders speculated that Meagan's marriage to Devon was strategic, that his producer status offered her access, leverage, and opportunities she wouldn't have had otherwise. The rumor suggested that Meagan used his influence to elevate her career, that her steady climb in Hollywood was tied more to her husband's connections than her own talent. But here's the truth: buried beneath the noise, Meagan Good had already built a 2-decade career before she even met Devon Franklin. She wasn't some newcomer hoping for a Hollywood shortcut. She was a seasoned actress with credits, credibility, and longevity. And Devon, despite his success, was hardly a kingmaker with limitless casting power. His specialty was faith-based cinema, not blockbuster gatekeeping. Then came the twist no rumor could predict. In 2021, after 9 years of marriage, Megan and Devon divorced, warmly, respectfully, and publicly emphasizing love, not scandal. If their relationship had been a career calculation, ending it while his influence still held value makes absolutely no sense. Sometimes a marriage is just that, a marriage. Complicated, real, imperfect, and human. Number 7. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. recently settled accusations that he raped a woman in a New York City hotel more than a decade ago, a dark cloud hanging over a man whose career began with one of the most important films of the 1990s. His breakout role came in Boys in the Hood, the revolutionary debut film by John Singleton. Cuba played Trey Styles, the emotional anchor of the story, delivering a performance so compelling it pushed him instantly into the Hollywood spotlight. That role changed everything. Just 5 years later, Cuba would win an Academy Awards Oscar for his electrifying performance in Jerry Maguire, cementing his place in pop culture history with the unforgettable line, "Show me the money." But fame always brings shadows. As Cuba's star rose, the Whisper Network in Hollywood began spinning a different narrative, one that questioned whether his success came solely from talent. Insiders hinted that his connection with John Singleton wasn't just mentorship, but layered with something more personal. The word favoritism got tossed around repeatedly. The rumors claimed Singleton saw something in Cuba that extended beyond professional instinct, and that this supposed closeness shaped the casting of Boys and the Hood and fueled Cuba's rapid rise. Here's the truth beneath the gossip. Cuba Gooding Jr. wasn't a random newcomer plucked from nowhere. He came from an entertainment family. His father was the lead singer of The Main Ingredient, known for the classic song, "Everybody Plays the Fool." Cuba grew up around show business, working as a dancer and taking small acting roles before Singleton ever called his name. He understood the culture Singleton was portraying. He understood the streets, the rhythm, the emotional weight, and he brought exactly the authenticity the film needed. The suspicion surrounding his swift ascent had more to do with Hollywood biases than with any real evidence. Black actors almost never rose that quickly in the early 90s. So when Cuba went from debut role to Academy Award in under a decade, people looked for explanations that went beyond talent. The reality? Cuba and Singleton had a long, genuine friendship built on trust, respect, and artistic chemistry. Singleton even spoke at Cuba's Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony, a testament to their bond. But romantic? Inappropriate? Hidden? There's zero evidence. Only speculation from those who couldn't believe a black director and a black actor could simply recognize brilliance in each other and change Hollywood together. Number 8. Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union began her rise in the 1990s, appearing in teen favorites like Saved by the Bell, The New Class, and Sister, Sister, before moving into films such as 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That, and of course the unforgettable cheerleading classic Bring It On in 2000. Her climb was steady, consistent, and built on years of work. But as her star grew, so did the gossip. Whispers circulated that Gabrielle maintained unusually close ties with certain powerful Hollywood figures, relationships that supposedly opened doors others had to fight for. One name often tossed around in tabloids was Bryan Singer, the controversial director behind X-Men and The Usual Suspects. The rumor made little sense. Gabrielle has never worked on any of his projects, never confirmed knowing him personally, and has never been linked to him in any legitimate capacity. And considering Bryan Singer's long list of allegations involving sexual misconduct, accusations that severely damaged his Hollywood standing, dragging Gabrielle's name into that conversation appears to be nothing more than an attempt to smear through association. What makes the rumor even more absurd is who Gabrielle Union actually is. Throughout her career, she has been one of the most outspoken women in Hollywood. She has publicly discussed surviving a violent assault at a young age, called out racism and sexism on set, fought for fair pay, and become a major voice in the #MeToo and Time's Up movements. Everything about her public advocacy contradicts the idea that she would compromise herself for industry connections. Yet, the rumors persist for one familiar reason: Hollywood has a long history of undermining successful black women by implying they didn't earn their success honestly. Despite the noise, Gabrielle Union built a career that speaks for itself, from romantic comedies to serious dramas, from being Mary Jane to serving as a judge on America's Got Talent. And she's done it by being vocal, principled, and completely unafraid to challenge the system. Number 9. Taraji P. Henson. Before she became a household name, Taraji P. Henson had already delivered standout performances in several films produced by Tyler Perry, including I Can Do Bad All by Myself and the Family That Prays. But everything changed when she stepped into the world of Empire and transformed Cookie Lyon into one of television's most iconic characters. That was the moment Taraji rocketed into mainstream superstardom. Still, as soon as Taraji's career began rising, Hollywood's favorite pastime kicked in: gossip. Rumors started swirling that Tyler Perry's admiration for Taraji wasn't just professional. The Whisper Network insisted that his repeated casting choices and public support were fueled by something deeper, a personal, possibly romantic attachment. Some even claimed that Tyler's influence helped steer Taraji toward the role of Cookie Lyon, shaping her path long before the casting was announced. Because when someone as powerful as Tyler Perry champions an actress, the industry pays attention and people start creating their own stories. But let's look at the facts. Tyler Perry has always used his platform to uplift black actresses who Hollywood traditionally sidelines. He has spoken openly about fair pay, equitable treatment, and the importance of creating opportunities for women who are consistently overlooked. He's done this for Taraji, yes, but also for legends like Angela Bassett, Viola Davis, and many others. Taraji has repeatedly credited Tyler Perry for valuing her when other studios undervalued her. She's spoken about how he paid her what she deserved and trusted her with complex roles, when the offers coming her way were thin and uninspired. She has always described their bond as a professional alliance rooted in respect, fairness, and genuine gratitude. So why do the rumors linger? Because Tyler and Taraji clearly have real affection for each other, the kind that comes from years of collaboration and mutual support. But affection doesn't set equal romance. Friendship doesn't set equal scandal. And professional loyalty doesn't mean anything inappropriate happened behind the scenes. At the end of the day, the story isn't about hidden relationships, it's about two black creatives supporting each other in an industry that rarely makes that easy. Number 10. Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash became a pop culture staple of the 1990s after playing Dionne Davenport in Clueless, starring alongside Alicia Silverstone. The role made her instantly recognizable, stylish, witty, unforgettable. But while Stacey was enjoying her big break, another Dash was rising in a different corner of entertainment: Damon Dash, the co-founder of Rockefeller Records and one of the most influential figures in early 2000s hip-hop culture. Their connection, their cousins, a fact that sparked confusion early in their careers and later fueled something much messier. As Stacey's momentum slowed after Clueless, the Hollywood rumor machine kicked into gear. She continued to work, the Clueless TV series, smaller roles in films and shows, but the momentum never reached that iconic peak again. Industry whisperers claimed that Damon Dash stepped in behind the scenes, using his influence to help keep Stacey visible during her career slump. According to the gossip, he didn't just support her professionally, he allegedly supported her in ways that went beyond a normal family relationship. These rumors went further, suggesting nepotism at best and an inappropriate closeness at worst. But here's the truth. Hollywood has always operated through relationships. Family ties, friendships, old connections, that's how the industry moves. A powerful producer helping a relative get work isn't scandalous, it's standard. What made the rumors salacious was the implication that their bond was too close, transactional, or improper, claims never backed by even a shred of real evidence. In recent years, Stacey Dash has earned headlines for entirely different reasons. Her controversial political stances and shift into conservative commentary overshadowed her acting career and drew heavy criticism from the Black community. At this point, the rumors about her and Damon feel less like truth and more like another example of Hollywood's love for twisting family ties into scandal where none exists. Number 11. Paula Patton. Paula Patton first turned heads in Hitch, holding her own alongside Will Smith. From there, she gained momentum, starring opposite Denzel Washington in Deja Vu and later appearing in Precious, directed by the ever-influential Lee Daniels. By the late 2000s, Paula's star was rising fast, but so were the rumors. She was married to R&B singer Robin Thicke from 2005 to 2015, a man born into Hollywood royalty. His father, Alan Thicke, was a beloved TV star, and his mother, Gloria Loring, was an established entertainer. With that lineage came deep, generational connections in both music and film. And that's where the gossip machine went wild. Whispers claimed Paula's rise was helped along by her husband's network and her friendships with powerful figures like Lee Daniels. Some suggested that her landing roles, especially in prestige projects like Precious, had less to do with her talent and more to do with personal relationships. The implication was clear: Paula Patton didn't earn her success, it was handed to her. But that sets the part the rumors always get wrong. Paula Patton worked. She started with smaller roles and climbed her way upward, delivering performances strong enough to stand beside giants. In Precious, she held her ground in a cast led by Monique and Gabourey Sidibe. In Deja Vu, she carried emotional weight opposite one of the greatest actors alive, Denzel Washington. Doors may open through connections, but talent determines who stays in the room. Paula stayed because she delivered. And let's not forget, her marriage to Robin Thicke did not end with Hollywood fairy tale perfection. It imploded publicly. Robin admitted to infidelity, released an entire album called Paula Begging for Forgiveness, and still couldn't repair the damage. Their divorce revealed a relationship far more complicated than the glossy image once projected. The truth is simple: Paula Patton's career wasn't built on favors, it was built on performance. Number 12. Thandiwe Newton. Thandiwe Newton has long been celebrated as one of the most gifted performers of her generation, with unforgettable roles in Crash, The Pursuit of Happiness, Westworld, and countless others. But behind the brilliance is a deeply troubling chapter that Hollywood once tried to twist into something it wasn't. When Thandiwe was just 16, she became involved with filmmaker John Duigan. She worked with him on the 1989 film Flirting, a project that should have been an exciting moment in a young actress's life. Instead, it marked the beginning of a years-long relationship, one she now describes as abusive, manipulative, and entirely inappropriate. Thandiwe has spoken openly in recent years about what truly happened. This wasn't set a romance. It was a teenage girl being groomed by an adult man who held power over her dreams, her opportunities, and her sense of self. The power imbalance was staggering and impossible for a girl her age to fully understand or consent to. Yet the tabloids of the time spun a grotesque alternative version of events. They painted Thandiwe as a savvy newcomer dating a director to advance her career, as if a 16-year-old possessed the agency, the strategy, or the intent to manipulate a grown man in Hollywood. That framing didn't just distort the truth, it protected the predator and blamed the child. Looking back, Thandiwe has described the emotional fallout, the confusion, the trauma, the shame, and the years it took to reclaim her voice. The #MeToo era finally gave her the space and the support to confront what she endured and call it what it was. Her story exposes a larger pattern in Hollywood, an industry that too often sexualized vulnerable young women while excusing the adults who exploited them. Instead of shielding Thandiwe, the narrative turned her into the villain. And yet, despite everything, she rose. Her award-winning career, Emmy, BAFTA, global acclaim, stands as proof that her success is rooted not in her past, not in Dugan, but in her extraordinary talent, strength, and resilience. Number 13, Jada Pinkett Smith. Before she ever became half of a Hollywood power couple, Jada Pinkett was already rising fast. She had made her mark in a different world, turned heads in Menace to Society, showed her comedy chops in The Nutty Professor, and delivered unforgettable fire in Set It Off. She was working, climbing, and carving out her own lane, but she wasn't yet on the stratospheric level of her future husband, Will Smith. When they married in 1997, the tabloids immediately crafted their own narrative. Whispers claimed Will's producer clout would become Jada's secret weapon, that his name, not her talent, would propel her career forward. As Jada secured major roles in blockbuster franchises like The Matrix Reloaded, The Matrix Revolutions, and Madagascar, and later found massive success with Girls Trip, the rumor mill roared back every single time. Did Will make a call? Did he negotiate the deal? Did she get this because of him? And when Jada launched Red Table Talk, which grew into a cultural powerhouse, the same tired questions resurfaced. The most infuriating part? These rumors erase Jada's brilliance, drive, and versatility. She has proven herself again and again as an actress, producer, musician, storyteller, and host. She built her own platform, created her own brand, and has remained relevant for decades, something very few entertainers manage. But Hollywood, and society at large, has always struggled to see married women, especially those married to powerful men, as individuals. Too often, Jada becomes simply Will Smith's wife instead of Jada Pinkett Smith, a dynamic, accomplished artist in her own right. The irony is that Jada and Will have openly discussed their struggles, their unconventional partnership, and their efforts to maintain separate identities within a high-profile marriage. On Red Table Talk, Jada has spoken candidly about the pressure of being married to a global superstar, and her relentless fight to be recognized not as an extension of him, but as herself. Number 14, Mo'Nique. In 2010, Mo'Nique shocked Hollywood with a performance so raw, so terrifyingly human, that it earned her the Academy Awards Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Her portrayal of Marion Precious, directed by Lee Daniels, was nothing short of seismic, a masterclass in emotional brutality that left audiences breathless. In that moment, Mo'Nique should have been unstoppable. She had the Oscar. She had the critical acclaim. She had the momentum that usually launches actors into the stratosphere. Instead, her career flatlined. For more than a decade, she was effectively erased from Hollywood's major opportunities. The reason? A now infamous feud involving Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry, a clash that became one of the most bitter public battles in modern entertainment. But long before the fallout, there were whispers. Rumors swirled that Mo'Nique and Lee's bond during the making of Precious wasn't strictly professional. Gossip insiders claimed their connection ran deeper, that Lee's fierce advocacy for Mo'Nique, his insistence on pushing her for awards, and their intense creative chemistry came from personal, even romantic feelings. Some went further, suggesting their collaboration had emotional or sexual undercurrents that fueled the powerful work they created together. None of it has ever been proven. What is documented is what happened after the Oscar win. Mo'Nique was asked to promote Precious internationally, without additional pay. She declined, saying she had already fulfilled her contractual obligations. She wanted to be compensated fairly for more work. Hollywood didn't appreciate her refusal. According to Mo'Nique, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry labeled her difficult, the industry's code word for exile. And just like that, she was blacklisted. The relationship between Mo'Nique and Lee Daniels, once one of deep trust and creative electricity, collapsed violently. Mo'Nique publicly accused Lee of betraying her loyalty. Lee insisted she sabotaged herself by refusing to play the Hollywood game. their friendship, or whatever it truly was, fell apart in full public view. Then came 2022. In a moment no one saw coming, Monique and Lee reunited on stage at a comedy show. They embraced, cried, apologized. Monique said she mishandled parts of the conflict. Lee said he failed to stand by her when the industry turned cold. It was emotional, messy, human, and very real. The reconciliation revealed something important. Whatever their bond had been during Precious, it mattered. It cut deeply when it fell apart. And the pain on both sides suggested a relationship, whether purely friendship or layered with something more, that went far beyond business. The rumors about Monique and Lee Daniels highlight a deeper truth about Hollywood gossip. When Black artists share a powerful creative connection, the industry often twists it into scandal because it struggles to believe brilliance can simply come from collaboration, trust, and shared vision. And in the end, whispers often hide a small piece of truth, a hint that the connections between these stars ran deeper than anyone on the outside could ever understand. Whether those bonds were romantic, creative, or simply built on shared struggles, the full story may never be revealed, but that mystery is exactly what keeps Hollywood buzzing. So tell me, are these stories nothing more than industry gossip, or do you believe there's something real behind the whispers? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, share this video with a friend who loves celebrity drama, and don't forget to subscribe. More secrets, more mysteries, and more stories Hollywood tries to bury are coming next. Stay tuned.